Hey, so I stumbled upon this cool tutorial on setting up Windows Server IaaS VM identity on Microsoft Azure. I think you'd find it fascinating, especially since you are into cloud and server infrastructure. Let's walk through the core ideas together, shall we? Picture this: Azure's vast, secure cloud platform, and you've got a virtual machine acting as your Windows server, right at the heart of your business strategy. Integrating this server's identity into Azure AD is like blending harmonious music. It's essential, enhances security, and simplifies management for those with the know-how for sure. Now, imagine our server needing a solid ID system. Azure Active Directory swoops in with its SSO charm, MFA might be, plus all these slick conditional access policies that keep things tight. It's a win for security and streamlined workflows. We're talking robust access controls, where you can grant access on demand and revokes it when needed. It's not just locking the door, it's manning the doorman with the most impeccable reputation. Azure AD can be used for identity management for your Windows DS servers on Azure, giving you the best of both worlds. You've got to understand how Azure AD DS works to set up your hybrid infrastructure. It's like fitting a custom-tailored suit. No more of those ill-fitting one-size F00 DS. With Azure AD DS, you get a seamless experience whether you're on-premises or online among your Azure assets. Plus, it's got these built-in tools that manage domain trusts, replication, and synchronization between your premises and the Azure environment. So it's not just about virtualization, it's about crafting that ultimate IT orchestration. You'll need to configure your VM with proper registration with Azure AD before moving on to the next step. But it's not rocket science, so fret not. We've got the cheat sheet right here, and the steps are pretty straightforward. You'll begin by enabling the built-in diagnostic for Azure AD DS, ensuring proper communication with AD via Azure AD Connect. It's like establishing a lifeline, the conduit for that seamless authentication. Oh, but it's not all smooth sailing, no sir. You'll need to troubleshoot, especially when things get a tad weird. Azure AD DS might play hard to get sometimes for different reasons, such as sync issues or policies conflicts. Don't panic, we've got this covered with solid, proven troubleshooting tactics. It's about staying one step ahead, anticipating the hiccups, and catching them early on. As we plow forward, we ensure to follow best practices throughout the entire process. I'm talking about regular updates, keeping security patches to date, and always backing up your critical data while working with identity services. Oh, and don't forget the importance of auditing those access logs. You wouldn't want to overlook who's doing what, and when, especially in a sizable organization. You'll also explore how to extend the identity management to other Azure services that interface with your VMs. It's about building a comprehensive, enterprise-grade configuration that's tight, secure, and user-friendly. By the end, I know you'll roll up your sleeves and dive deep into the setup, getting that identity right, ready for any sized organization to scale up. Whether you are protecting cloud apps, databases, or any other Azure services, we'll go through the nitty-gritty, ensuring your VM is secure, efficient, and scalable. We're not just setting identities up. We are orchestrating an IT ecosystem where everything sings in tune. And trust me, it's nothing short of rewarding. Alright, I think you've got a good grip on the essentials. It'll be a journey into unlocking the full potential of Azure AD for your Windows Server VMs. Now, before I sign off, just remember to give yourself a pat on the back because mastery comes in trying times, and navigating these waters will only make you sharper. Don't forget, if you want to stay updated on more amazing content like this or just brush up on the latest Azure trends, hit up neeraj.qzz.io and subscribe to TechLab. It's where the pulse of the IT universe beats, where we share and celebrate the marvels of technology day in, day out. So, my friend, join the community and stay informed. After all, knowledge is power, and empowerment is what we're all about. Catch you later. Solvent identity services and configurations using Azure AD and Windows Server IaaS VMs as IT professionals striding in the ever-evolving landscape of cloud computing, mastering Azure Active Directory becomes a pivotal skill. Asset to this arsenal of expertise is the implementation of Windows Server IaaS VM identity within the Azure framework. Beyond securing our virtual machines, it's about weaving identity at its backbone across tenants and services, ensuring a secure yet seamless multi-user experience. Here, we are not merely implementing identity, we are sculpting a fortress of trusted access and accountability in a shared environment, while championing the identity-first orchestration of cloud operations. Diving deep, let's start with Azure AD Connect and its agents, which are the linchpins for your distributed environments. These agents harmonize your local AD with Azure AD through sophisticated synchronization mechanisms, empowering our IaaS VMs with a globally recognized identity. As part of implementing domain linking or trust, one must consider the federation implications for cloud services, ensuring they are congruent with enterprise and global IT strategies. When delving into multi-factor authentication at the system level, Azure Active Directory enforces MFA policies that are not only rigorous but also transparent to the end user, thereby fortifying a bastion of security without compromising the user experience. This balance is often encapsulated in industry benchmarks that advise on appropriate MFA methods and frequency, encompassing biometric options or risk-based MFA, always aligned with risk-level access demands. Implementing identity-first principles signifies that identity verification and provisioning are not siloed processes, but are integral to our operations across various cloud-based services. This approach not only streamlines access to resources, but also nudifies the user onboarding process. With robust identity management, IT assets are no longer the Achilles heel but the cornerstone of productivity and security. The Azure AD Connect Gateway plays an instrumental role in extending reliable connectivity and enhancing security, particularly in hybrid scenarios. With its help, your IaaS VMs engage with Azure environments through secure on-premises connectivity managed by the gateway. A gateway's strategic deployment supports not just Azure but also on-premises applications, ensuring that your organization's identity ecosystem is both far-ranging and secure. On encountering issues such as stale links or multi-factor session troubles, refer frequently to Azure best practices and industry wisdom, like those elucidated in the Azure documentation. Employ advanced diagnostics to navigate these predicaments, maintaining the integrity of your identities across the sprawling Azure expanse. Remember, these scenarios often reflect the complexities of synchronizing disparate environments and the nuances of federated identities. For troubleshooting and optimization, one can tap into expert-curated resources, such as those provided by Neeraj Kapoor in webinars or detailed tutorials. His work exemplifies a blend of practical know-how and strategic depth. Additionally, TechLab's online forums and knowledge bases present a fertile ground for continuous education, where seasoned veterans exchange strategies and insights, further enriching one's approach to Azure identity services. Having woven our narrative from the foundations of Azure AD integration to the tapestry of advanced configuration, we now embrace the horizon of ongoing IT enlightenment. While mastery is perpetual, our journey does not end. Engage with an exclusive webinar series dedicated to Azure security strategies, hosted by luminaries such as Neeraj Kapoor. These sessions are gateways to deeper understanding and cutting-edge techniques. In closing, for sustained learning and community interaction beyond this guide, participate actively on TechLab's platform. It's here that the collective intellect converges, sharing insights and supporting one another in the vast cloud domain. As you venture forth to implement the mastery of Windows Server IaaS VM identity in Azure, I invite you to carry forward the torch of continuous innovation and camaraderie. For more incomparable content, direct your path to neeraj.qzz.io and subscribe to TechLab, where every update can illuminate corners of the digital frontier yet to be explored. As an AI ethicist specializing in AI governance for cloud infrastructures, you are tasked with composing an exhaustive 4 to 5 minute speech. This speech targets an audience of C-suite executives, IT decision makers, and cloud strategists. Your discourse must meticulously convey the intricacies of ethical AI implementations in conjunction with Azure Active Directory and Windows Server IaaS VM identity deployments. You must discuss the moral implications of automated decision-making with Windows Server IaaS VM identities, emphasizing transparency, accountability, and bias prevention. Analyze the necessity of embedding ethical AI governance frameworks within Azure AD and their relevance to securing sensitive identities against unauthorized access or data breaches. Introspect on the cultural and legal expectations that drive the deployment of AI-powered IaaS VMs in a Windows Server environment, citing relevant compliance standards such as GDPR or CCPA. Outline the role of continuous ethical audits post-deployment and proactive measures against unintended AI behavior within Azure AD and interoperability of AI across diverse cloud platforms. Encapsulate the speech with a call to uphold ethical responsibility in technology at an organizational and industry-wide scale, providing an actionable conclusion that encourages the integration of ethics into IT infrastructure and operations. Do not explain the terms AI governance or compliance standards, assume a basic understanding but clarify their importance. Avoid any directive or prescriptive language, instead, foster understanding and inspiration to act with ethical considerations. Do not rely on templates or formulaic presentations, instead, present these ideas through relatable anecdotes or analogies. Your language should mirror the urgency and significance of the subject without creating panic or fear. As stewards of technology and leaders in their respective realms, the C-suite executives and IT decision-makers among us are no strangers to the relentless march of progress, particularly within the Azure havens of our Azure infrastructure. Our discussion today, however, transcends the mere technicalities of securing our virtual environments and delves into the profound realm of ethical AI implementations that crisscross the fabric of our identities, right to the heartbeat of our Windows Server IaaS VMs synchronized with Azure Active Directory. Imagine for a moment weaving trust into our digital tapestries. Just as an artist blends hues with intent, transparency, accountability, and the eradication of bias in our automated systems form the pigments necessary for integrity in our digital landscapes. The algorithms that dictate our identity's access, safeguarding sensitive credentials against nefarious players, be they hackers or cyber miscreants, must reflect our core tenets of ethical leadership. In this very cloud fortress we inhabit, it's this very alignment to AI governance frameworks within Azure AD that upholds our commitment not just to security but to doing it within the realm of moral responsibility. The frameworks that shield our data aren't mere tools, they're reflections of our organizational values etched into the digital code, our non-negotiable standards shaping how we interact within this nexus of technology and ethics. Cultural expectations, molded from the legal bedrock laid by standards like GDPR or CCPA, are wound in the sails of our AI-powered endeavors. As we navigate through this confluence of technology and regulations, the essence of compliance is not just to abide by external mandates but to uplift the societal mirror reflecting our collective conscience. Post-deployment, the journey of ethical vigilance continues through continuous audits, ensuring our systems perpetually act within the ethical bounds we've set. Our narrative on Azure isn't a singular tale of triumph and technology, it's a chapter in a larger story of proactive and reactive stances against the unforeseen behaviors of our digital companions, ensuring our AI's decisions remain transparent and interpretable paths for us to navigate. As custodians of this intricate ecosystem, our actions sculpt not only the future of technology within our enterprises, but also the broader strokes painted across our industry and society. The call to action extends not just towards the integration of ethical considerations in IT infrastructure but into a harmonious symphony, an industry-wide renaissance of ethics-infused technology strategies that resonate with the core values of accountability, fairness, and a commitment to protect the essence of what it means to be human in our digital age. Let our march forward in this endeavor be as steadfast and unified as a company's core values, and may the legacy we craft within technology serve as the bastion of ethical stewardship in both our organizations and across the industry spectrum. You, the leaders among us, are the harpists in this grand orchestra of ethical AI orchestration. In adopting the motto of tech with conscience and aligning our AI-driven identities with Azure, we are not just deploying systems, we are planting seeds of trust within our enterprise gardens. When we deploy our AI systems within our Azure integrated IaaS VM identities, we are not simply engaging in routine IT operations. We are the architects, bearing the responsibility of safeguarding user trust through a transparent digital lock and key, an ethical compass guiding our AI guardians, where each authentication decision is not just a stroke of binary but one imbued with the weight of personal data trust. In this ethical endeavor, compliance with standards serves as the mortar between bricks of technology. Not merely a procession of checkboxes and mandates, but rather an extension of our legal and cultural responsibility to the citizenry we serve. The adherence to regulations like GDPR or CCPA mirrors our societal contract in technology, the shared promise of privacy and security, a societal nod of approval that our systems reflect not exploitation but guardianship. As we stand at the confluence of technology and ethics, the necessity of continuous ethical audits is akin to the watchful eyes of governance. The journey doesn't end at deployment, it demands an ever-vigilant gaze to ward off and amend the unintended ripples of AI behavior, ensuring our digital decisions remain open book, accountable, and fair. It is our commitment to these post-deployment ailments, ethical lapses, that signifies our unwavering commitment. As the master craftsmen of tomorrow's cloud governance, let this call to ethical responsibility not be a mere directive but the bedrock upon which we shape our organizational and industry-leading silhouette. Like the mariner steering by the stars, let our actions be by the beacon of ethics guiding our technology to stand firmly rooted in our core values, resonating with the universal hum that ethics in technology commands across space broad and near. Ensuring the continuous learning and ethical evolution within our enterprises and advocating a wave of organizational ethics across the industry. May our legacy not merely be technological prowess but moral stewardship. For the grand narrative that unfolds within the world of AI-integrated identities is but an extension of our societal reflection in technology, a testament to our commitment. Remember, ethical AI is not merely good practice, it is leadership. Let us be steadfast in this cause, for in technology, as in life, our legacy is shaped by the integrity we embody. Let Neeraj.qzz.